When I was 25, I went through an awakening of sorts. And it was the first of several that I've had and believe that I will continue to have. And I woke up to the fact that I lived in prison by my own, incarcerated by my own beliefs, my own limitations, and it was literally a cocoon around me. And I could go on and on of those false beliefs that I had, but one of those was that I would always have to struggle for money. That was just knowledge to me. Is grass green? That was the way that I was going to live, and it had always been that way for my family. It had always been that way for me, and it would never be anything different. I had another false belief that was really limiting for me. In fact, my whole first CD is on this in the first chapter of my book. It was that my worth, my internal worth, was directly and only related to my external results, which meant for me that my worth was fluctuating all the time, according to my weight, according to my friends, according to other people's opinions, according to my successes, which hardly any at the time. And so that was a huge limitation that I had. And another one that I had that was extremely piercing for me and limiting for me was that as a woman, because I was a woman, there was a huge section of educational and career paths that I would never be able to access. Even though there was a lot of evidence in my life that was challenging that for me and telling me that that wasn't so. I was a straight A student in elementary school, high school, and I got a full ride scholarship to college my first year. And I was told that I was the first female ever to receive that particular one. But it didn't matter, because I did not believe it in any way. And if people would compliment me, it wouldn't do a thing for me, because I was married to my own limiting beliefs. Even small things, I remember, it's so funny, this is coming to me now. I remember I was in 4th grade, and there was a couple of classes, and we were all learning the multiplication tables. And there were 4 people who were just blowing right through everybody else. There were 3 boys, Bill, Andy, and Jeremiah Jensen. I love that name, Jeremiah Jensen. I would use that, so my last names matter. I think Bill's last name was Skimmyhorn, poor guy. That's really tough to spell when you're 5. I'm sure he's never going to get this video, so hopefully. Or we can edit, right, John? You're good at editing? All right, you're my guy. And there was these 3 boys, and then there was me. And I remember one of my teachers saying to me, "You are such a smart girl." And I think later she said, "You are so smart for a girl." But I just didn't ignore that. It was the 80s. But it didn't matter, because I would never, ever believe it. And so when I was 25, I didn't finish my degree. I had no career. I had no discernible life path to me or anyone else. And it wasn't just in that area of my life, in my personal life as well. My relationships, my marriage, my role as a mother. If you could have seen my creation board at the time, you would have seen variations of gray and stick figures around all of the sides. That was the way that I was living, because I was internally agreeing. I had an agreement with my limitations, and I was living it out. And that is why externally I had those results. Our lives are created from the inside out. I teach this often because it so often applies. Your mind inside of you is the richest, most fertile soil. Everything you put inside of that starts to grow and produces results. Nobody will ever put a zucchini seed in the ground and grow out a tomato plant. It's against the laws of creation. So when you look at your own business and you use your tools of creation and you say or you think or you feel, "I cannot be successful," or "I don't have enough money," there is no way you can grow something else out of that. Because it is first created and scripted internally, and then it is externally manifested. And that's how it works. And so where does change begin? It begins inside of us.